Ladies and gentlemen, I've received a few comments on YouTube as well as personally and privately that have basically boiled down to, why are you still playing this game? Why is this game still going? That's a good question. I actually have some thoughts about that. I kind of want to save them until the end of the VOD. Assuming we're going to beat the game today. That'd be nice. I don't know how far off we are. Because I know a lot of people watch the very end as opposed to, you know, just mid-VOD kind of a thing like this. Oh yes, and obviously my body decided that today, rather than taking a 3-hour nap, I was just going to wake up late. Hopefully I can actually get through an entire frigging shift for once. Be still my beating heart. I'll give you the summary right now, though. How long do you think this game has been so far? We're on VOD 6. We're, like, not at the last dungeon. Any thoughts? Walker says 15 hours. I say go away. Dream Whisperer says 10 hours? Okay. Kennex Cow says 87 hours! Oh my god, Kennex Cow! Nope, never mind. She says 13 hours. My bad. I was a little off there. Ross says 23 hours. You probably already get what I'm going for. Let me share a couple of games that are about similar in length, okay? I actually pulled up a list here. Right here. Move this to a side while I look for a hidden switch. So, for example, we've got Super Mario Wonder, Dishonored 2, Dishonored 1, for that matter, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Paper Mario 1, Earthbound, Zelda Wind Waker, Lufia 2R, let's see, Super Lesbian Animal RPG, obviously you're live into this, Pentiment, Diablo 2. All of these games have the same basic relevance. And that's that I'm lying to you. I'm sorry. I'm not a good liar. I don't have the lying skill, okay? So every game I just mentioned, to me, feels shorter than the game we're playing. And yet, every game I just mentioned is about twice the length of where we're at right now. As I've said many times, it is how long a game feels that really matters in the end, not how long a game is. Now, obviously there's a direct parallel between how long a game is and how long a game feels, blah, blah, blah. But you get the general idea. Now, actual games that are around this length, if we scroll way up here on the list, are closer to things like, say, Shantae 4, Half Genie Hero, Metal Gear Solid 1, Metroid Dread. That felt like a rubber game. Signalis was about this long. Mega Man X8, the original, was about this long. Quake 1 was about this long. Tinykin was about this long. The problem I'm running into consistently, and I've been debating how to review this exactly. Do I need to look this up? Is that the game feels substantially longer than it is. And there is definitely some empty text issues, and there definitely needs to be, another editing pass, because there's just not a lot of density. Now, I'm not going to ding the game too much, because one of the biggest forms of padding, the game actually gives you a solution for. Tinykin was such a good game. I recommend it. If you haven't played Tinykin, it's a great game. It's a 3D platformer collectathon. Fun stuff. Anyways. It was a damn good game. But my point is, it feels like, if I was to put this into very specific terminology, it feels like the amount of content in this game supports a game about half its length. Yeah, because like we spent a weirdly large amount of time, several hours of game time, and multiple chapters of story, not only kind of spinning our wheels, but also, more importantly, not really having access to the kid of the game. Now, that's a very common RPG flaw. It's something I've talked about for years. Is because an enormous quantity of games, especially RPGs specifically, will give you so little kit early on. that you just kind of, you know, don't really have fun until a certain point of the game. Now, how long that period of time is depends, and that kind of leads to, you know, balancing your game around the idea that you don't have that early on. But the game didn't really do that, if you're paying attention. The game didn't actually support the idea of, there we go, designing the early game around the fact that you have a very little kit. Instead, every encounter has kind of basically been the same the entire game. I mean, I hate to praise a game that I myself have bashed before, but XCOM 2 actually does this exact same arc pretty well. At the beginning of XCOM 2, you don't have much kit, but the enemies and missions you're encountering early game aren't that much, right? Like, there's not much to them. You can push through them relatively quickly, you know, blah, 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 right? Like, it's the early missions are fine relative to the amount of kit you have to throw at those early missions. And then the game kind of constantly introduces new and worse enemies while also giving you better and better kit. I don't want to overpraise XCOM 2. Lord knows that review was a bit of a disaster. But it was still something the game did well. Yeah, exactly. You have to chase the escalation. And that worked. In that case. I can actually name another example of a case where that didn't work at all. Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. Which is a game I was notoriously pretty bad on and basically lost a friend over. Because it had some issues with that concept. Okay, so that's one seal. And I'm like, meh. And yeah, a lot of MMOs have this exact same issue. Now, amusingly enough, WoW, Guild Wars 2, and FF14 do not fall into this. But the overwhelming majority of MMOs, basically every other MMO, does. And FF14 only doesn't fall into this if you're playing the right class. So, asterisk on that one. It's got to be something here. There we go. Okay. Let's just say it literally has to be here. There's nowhere else to go. But yeah, Star Trek Online is actually a great example of the concept you just mentioned, Ross. STO is dull as dishwater early game. There's nothing to do. And if you watched my run of that, you know that combat in the game, especially space combat, actually gets really cool at a certain point. Tor would qualify if Tor's combat ever got good. Or Tor. Left for loot. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I feel like this game doesn't have enough content for the length of the game that it actually is. Definitely not a Paper Mario game. Oh, come on. How many of these are there? Good morning, Noctis. Oh, come on. How many of these are there? Thank you for making my point for me, game. Even something that's fun gets old if you just keep doing it over and over. Yeah, that's another thing, by the way. So, from a bit of perspective, we're a little over 10 hours through at this point. I want you to imagine in your head how long this game is intended to be. Yes, I am using a game-intended kit in order to try and speed through some of this. I don't feel bad about that. It's not cheating, and it's something the developer obviously wanted us to have access to. But think about intended length for a second. Think about how long the game wants to be if I was doing every single combat encounter normally. Thank you for the sub, Brigman. As always, give me 1 second. Dragon Quest 7, Dragon Quest 8, In Other Waters. You got it. I hope you are doing as well as you can. I still think I was just fighting something off. Or I am fighting something off. Yeah, I was gonna say, if anybody hasn't already nominated this for worst density, maybe think about it, because this is a great example of what worst density should mean. In fact, we even renamed it to most padded. Oh my god, it's a stealth section. It's a stealth section. Okay, so that was our tutorial to the stealth section. Now for the actual stealth section. Ah! It's a stealth section with checkpoints. Oh my god. I didn't think those were possible. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. There we go. See, I know I can make that. That is a really high boost to my attack power. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. But yeah, easily another several hours on the game length. I'm not sure how many, but each combat takes several minutes instead of several seconds. It's easy to prove that because I've been doing each combat at least once. Well, at least new enemy type at least once. So. Delicious ghost hearts. Okay. So there's one more we haven't done, I think. Yeah, up. Oh no, did we do up? Oh god, I don't actually remember. We did not do up. Okay, okay, we're good, we're good. Let's try that again. Just give me a second. We'll be here a minute. Okay, yeah, that's fine. The paper tile didn't actually look traversable, so it didn't occur to me to bother. Look, I have no brain, okay? I don't know what you want from me. No brain and skull. What's worse is you realize this is just like the tutorial, right? The next room is going to be so much worse. Or that's it. Okay. Okay. Just... Yeah, this is 5 enemies, each of which has to do their attacks and animations. And there's no speeding up animations. That is one of the curses of every turn-based grid game. Animations. If there's no option to skip or speed up animations, inevitably every turn-based game kind of slows down. Good, bad, or in between. It's just kind of a normalcy. Because you gotta watch your enemy do your turns, then you gotta think about your turns, and you gotta do your turns. If there's a friendly AI, you gotta wait for them to do their turns. It's a whole thing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Final Fantasy Tactics is a good example of that. Or, even something like DOS 2 or Baldur's Gate 3. And yeah, exactly, Ross. That's pretty much exactly what I was referencing. If there's no speed up animation or skip animation button, they get slogged down. No, Traxia. I mean, you missed a good dungeon, which I'm going to give a positive for. And a brief discussion on length of game. Sweet. Blood everywhere. Following area contains potentially disturbing imagery. Blood or implied blood-like substance, potentially upsetting heartbeat effects. Bragwin! Bragwin! Run, Bragwin! Unfortunately, Bragwin's gone. No! Ghosts who go into the stacks don't come out. Oh, geez, okay. Hey, Spartan. Oh, I'm definitely in favor of the content warnings. Because, you know, yeah. Let me jot down something really quick while we enjoy this wonderful ambiance. Oh, who knows, Walker? Some people are just babies. Ugh. Options in my video games. Ugh. Anyone wants to see that? We're not alone down here. Oh. Hang on one second. I'm not aware, Kennex Cow. Dare I ask? I mean, I don't disagree with you, Ross. Like I said, I'm not sure there's a win-win there. And aside from like a very general viewer discretion advised warning, which is actually something television did for a while there. I don't like this. Hey. It's okay. We're all here with you now. Nice place. Really. Is it running away? Cowardly thing. Or is it luring us? Heartbeat speeding up. Well, there's our save point. You pet the cat, but you cannot shake the feeling of unease. Cool. Boss time? Where did it go? Oh, it's a Kirby boss. What is it? I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. Blood magic. Interesting boss song. Get her heal on. Oh god, it kind of does, Ross. Let's see if we can push this thing. Probably can't. Oh, wow. I mean, by definition, yeah, Chemix Cow. That's a hell of an AoE. Also, this thing hits like a freaking truck. Okay. Good morning, Mook. Okay. Of course, the one person I want to take damage, the one person who has it. I think I can still hit it here. Nope. Yeah, she's in the way. Let's do this. I've got it. Let's stab the blood orb with a sword. Oh, that's a lot of health. Okay. I'm not even sure why I'm surprised at this point that things have a trillion health. That's not happening, is it? Yeah, let's just hit it with lightning for now. Oh. By the way, the boss's name is Agony. So that's cool. Ow. Oh my god, can I have a turn, please? Jesus Christ. I'm getting outsped here. I am really low on health. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've noticed every boss relies on the ad thing a little bit too much. Like, they gave the bosses multiple actions per round to solve the action economy problem. And then they gave the bosses ads, because screw me, I guess. That attack is called Digest. Let's re-up our healing, shall we? I wonder if I've finally fallen behind the curve. I've been pretty diligent about making sure I'm getting as much experience as I can and upgrading my gear whenever I can. That stuff is just hurting at this point in the game. God, freaking Coda. Yeah, this is just your life until you're dead now. Okay, have fun, bye. Ooh, can I? I can. Buffer one more time. Here's the real question. How much fun have you had laughing at them, Smart? Wait, I can see the future. You're gonna tell me you find it very funny. I drink of the waters of life. The holy Canada Dry. Real talk, without the regen ability, I don't think I could do half the bosses I've done ever since she joined the party. Excuse me, Z joined the party. I do not know how you're supposed to keep up with the damage output these things do. In case you're not aware, that means I'm healing about 11 a turn on everyone. And you notice, that's still not keeping up, it's just holding back the tide. Damn. Z can't get in range. We'll just do a regular attack, I guess. Get some damage out there. Please don't die. Please don't. Oh no. Okay. And there's no way to survive that. Yeah, that just does too much damage. Dead. Okay. Cool. It's funny, because the only real terrible game we had on the books was FF13. Like, there's nothing else, even in my hypothetical, that I would call terrible. Yeah, what is his health at? We're getting there. Honestly, ditto, Arspruce. I've had the same thought, like, for a lot of the game. Like, the vibe from me behind the controller is, what am I missing, right? Oh, that's cute. Like, I've already demonstrated that without buffs and debuffs, you just are not doing the kind of damage that you need to be doing. Well, good news, we can do a flare. I also have to admit, one thing that kind of irritates me is the sheer gap of difference between nice and great. In case you missed that earlier, for example, the difference between damage on a nice and great is 10 to 14, which may not sound like a lot, but think about that. That's 40% additional damage for hitting great, which is the parry time. It's the perfect timing. It's the same way the other way around, too. Do you want to take 5 damage or 2? It's a huge gap. Yeah, no, the gap has been increasing. Like, early on, it was just an increase of, 1 or 2 extra damage. Or decrease of 1 or 2 extra damage. And now it's like, Okay. We've killed Agony. Boy, if only that were true. Yeah, consequently, there's item buffs you can use, which increase your power and depower, but here's the thing. I was thinking about the numbers of that. So any given buff from those lasts 3 turns. What that means is you consume a turn on another person to have 3 buffs on a separate person. Or in other words, you have a net income of 2 turns. So it's a 2-turn uptime, right? But there's another asterisk there, because you can only use items to someone who is horizontally adjacent from you. And I know that sounds like a weird thing to call out, but that by itself ruins the usage of consumables. Because you have to be right up in the front line with the person you're buffing in order to be able to use the buff on them. And it's relatively easy to not be in a position where you can do that. And you have to have someone who has nothing better to do with their turn than to buff the power of the person in question. And most importantly of all, I lied to you, sorry, most importantly of all, the buffs aren't substantial. Plus 3 power is not a noteworthy increase in output. This isn't Paper Mario. To put it very simply, in Paper Mario, a plus 3 power output is gargantuan. Because you go from doing 1 damage a round to 4. Huge increase in output, right? But here, there's actually a formula. I've noticed this. If I have plus 80 attack power and I go to plus 83 attack power, I'm still doing 11 damage a hit, right? I might go up to doing 12, maybe, but plus 3 when I've already got 80 is not a substantial increase, right? What should have happened is that the buff item... First of all, let's get rid of that horizontal requirement. That just doesn't work. But second of all, I would have made it so that the buff items just act like Paper Mario does. Adds 1 damage per attack. Period. Right? Just a direct increase to your damage output. That would also mean buff items always stay useful. Even the ones at the beginning of the game would still add plus 1 attack power, right? Or plus 1 damage, excuse me. So even here at this point of the game, I would go from doing 13 to 14 damage round, which isn't a huge increase, but is an increase and a guaranteed increase. And then you get the later buff items, which increase about like 3 or 4 or whatever. That's a noticeable increase in damage output. Same thing with defense. Reduce the damage you take by 3 would be very helpful when the enemy's hitting me for 10 and I have 40 health. It's funny because these numbers line up so well, I'm shocked that they weren't designed this way. Instead, using a typical under-the-hood formula like, any old Final Fantasy game would do. Anyways. Hi, D20. Like, I just gained 5 attack power. What does that change her damage? Does it change her damage? It's hard to even tell at this point. What is it? Hurry! I feel like that's what we're here for. Oh, and just to really, really, really make my point. I have 90 attack power on my main character. The best buff items I have access to right now is the curry. Which is boosts my attack power by 6 for 3 turns. You see the problem? An increase of 6 when you already have 90 is a drop in the water, especially given the fact that it costs someone else's turn and only lasts for 3. There are several ways they could have made this work, and they didn't, and that's fine. I'm just pointing it out. So it just liquefied itself? I think this is where it came from, but what is this red substance? How can it help us? Maybe this will tell us. Following scene contains depiction of self-destructive behavior. That's also why I've been reading the content warnings out loud, by the way. Bod, you alright? No. Today was a nightmare. Everything's okay now. Students are safe. Barely, thanks to Safina and her friends. That demon, students could have died. And I almost let it happen. You're putting out fires, Bod. You protected dozens of students from serious harm. You can't be everywhere all at once. Nobody expects you to. I do. If I was only more prepared. Nothing can happen to my students. I won't let anyone die because of me. Not again. Oh, Bod, you... Aw. Come here, love. It's okay. Everything will be okay. I'm gonna help with the garden repairs. I love you. Be gentle with yourself. No, and nobody's full support are spruce, which is another way they could have made this work. Like I said, there's actually a lot of ways they could have made this work. I like Mook's idea. Maybe make it so that items are permanent. Like, in other words, a buff item lasts the fight. Duration is the fight. If you want to be mean, maybe it goes away when you die, but otherwise you get the idea. What that would mean is you could spend the first round, when we're already too far away from the enemy to really do anything meaningful, buffing and prepping. You might say that just adds a round of fluff to the game, but there's already a round of fluff to the game, because we start off on the other side of the map from them. And it would be something that you could reward the player for actually, managing their gold and making sure they keep having the buff items on them. So you spend the first round just everyone buffing each other. And because there's multiple buff items of multiple buff types, you can decide exactly how much buffing you want to do each given round. Boom. Cool. Done. You could also make it so, like, buffing with an item is something that actually doesn't take a turn at all, and doesn't involve the grid at all. I know that sounds strange, but Ogre Battle does this, if you remember, with the cards. You, the commander, are using the cards, not the units. So in other words, you can make it so it's just like, hold up. Buff item here, boom. And just do that out of turn order, right? Yeah, actually, Takoida's point, that was another one. Oh, I can't remember that. There is a specific grid tactics game that does exactly that. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but yeah. Just have the setup round. Oh, colony ship. Duh. Yeah, just have the setup round and say, okay, put here, buff this, boom, done. And then start combat. Just get right into the meat of it. You could also do what I suggested and make it so the buff items are really worthwhile. They just straight up reduce the damage you take, or straight up increase the damage you do. Flat. Not with any kind of formulas or attack powers or percentages. All of these things could have made the system work, but none of them exist. It worked. Yep, all you had to do is rip out your own blood. I wish it would last longer. Also true, Arspruce. I mean, granted, being able to set up specs is actually pretty advanced code-wise, and this is someone new to development, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to be too harsh about that. But at the same time, Hi, Dr. Winter. Doing a thing where you could customize your spell list per character would kind of have been awesome in this game. Like, that would have been like, I can tell you right now, with this spell list we already have access to, being able to say, you learned this, you learned this, you learned this, could have been an awesome builds system. And then you could set up someone to support, because we do have spells that increase defense. We do have spells that increase offense, spells that increase speed, spells that heal over time, spells that delay action, spells that lower defense. You could set up a full support line if you wanted to, under such a system. Keeping the pain hidden away all this time, and nobody knew. This is terrible. So much pain and grief gathered in one place. It's like a retirement home. Sorry. That's not even funny, it's true. But she's still so powerful. What a fearsome person. I suppose that's why nobody suspected a thing. So we have to use this to stop the headmistress. Can't. I mean, we shouldn't. I mean, what would do to her? The pain it would cause. But we have no choice. If we don't, we can't break the sapling free. And we all die. No, there has to be another way. For her sake, for Professor Everlay's sake. There is another way. There is? Oh. I can get us in. I have a way. Why didn't you say this before? Because it's not that simple. It involves doing another dungeon. Sorry. But after all this, after all we've overcome, I think we can do it without hurting the headmistress. Count me in. Son of a gun, I'm in. I'm with you. How do we do it? Let's return to Spell Tower and I'll show you. Well, I'm glad we did that entire chapter for no reason then. Jesus Christ. You see what I mean about how the narrative does have issues and just kind of spins its wheels sometimes? Is that an earthquake? This doesn't bode well. Like, we literally just spent an entire chapter to gain access to a MacGuffin we have decided not to use. Yeah, it's not quite time wasting. It even can make sense from a narrative perspective. But you see how that feels, right? Did we ever... Hang on one sec. We're still missing 3 warp points, too, which weirds me out a little bit. Oh, apparently we didn't find that one. Okay. Extremely minor complaint. So minor I'm not going to ding it, but it is something I'm going to complain about. Why are the trees the same green as everything else? The warp trees, the waypoints. Like, considering the theme of the work, if you really wanted to be narratively interesting about it, you could have made them, for example, wintry trees. Or autumn trees, or yellow trees, or purple trees. This is a magic world. We can have purple trees. It's cool. I know, Mook. A friend of mine and I... So we were playing WoW last night, as we often do. And a friend of mine was like, you know, it's really going to suck if they do decide to start using AI in WoW. Because all of us are super looking forward to midnight. And it's like, please don't ruin it. Come on, don't ruin this. Don't mess this up for me. I've been pretty positive about the music in general so far. Honestly, I've probably been pretty positive about the whole game, if you think about it. Yep, there it is. Ah, Legion. Hello, Czar. Strange, strange Legion. Look, I'm sorry, the Nightmare song is just super badass. I don't know what you want from me. I don't think we've seen that tile set. I know. I'm gonna stop doing side stuff. Let's just get on with this. Honestly, this might qualify as unexpectedly bad, if that makes any sense. Like, from something like this, I don't know. This is 100% on me, but I was expecting this to be like some awesome indie game. And it isn't. It's a good indie game. Don't mistake me. I suppose that says something about me at this point in my life. You know, that I get to an indie game and my first thought is it's going to be badass because it's an indie game. I shouldn't think like that. But I do. Yeah, no, exactly, Meta Overlord. Like, that's exactly where it's at. I'm just too biased because I've just had too many great indie games in my life. Hopefully with more to come. Oh, I should save. Why are you still here? You know the answer to that. I think I can get inside. Even through all this? I'm I'm going to phase through the thorns. You can't! From this distance, you'd be torn apart. I'll make it, Ibn. I'm probably the only one in the Coven who can. But I don't know what it'll cost me. You have no other choice. We're running out of time. When you do, how do you plan to stop Aeldra with all your strength gone? This is why I wanted you to leave. If you don't leave, if you get hurt when I'm not around, you know what could happen. But we don't have to worry about that. Because you'll get through, and you're going to stop her. Be careful, Bax. I'll save the chocolate icing for you. And he's dead. Man, I'm sure glad we did that entire side quest for no reason. Content warning. Traumatic recollection, facial injury, disfigurement, emotional neglect. This will be hard to believe. In our first year before she became friends with Nook and Nell, Safina and I were best friends. You're right, that is hard to believe. It's true. They were glued together, always getting into mischief. She never told us. Safina never told us is a common theme these days. Remember how we got into the Snatcher's lair? Passage to the unseen. In your family storage unit. Wait, you never explained that. Why was the passage there? Because I'm the one who created it. Halfway through the year, Saf's wand was stolen by the Snatcher. She was devastated and wanted it back more than anything. They located his den, but couldn't find a way to reach it. Yeah, she told me about losing her wand, but not how she got it back. Foolishly, I looked into blood magic using some old family books. Impressing her was my only concern. I was able to concoct a terrible spell that could create a passage to otherwise unreachable places. But it was blood magic. I made the spell, but it was Saf who cast it. Could have just gotten another wand, but okay. Blood magic is banned for a reason. The Unseen is a vast, empty place, devoid of light. What few creatures live there are terrible beyond words. Saf told me about them, but I didn't believe her till we saw one for ourselves. We retrieved Saf's wand. When we were returning, we were attacked by the creature. We weren't prepared and it took us by surprise. Ima? Are you sure? It's okay. You can remove the spell. Yeah, they hinted at this earlier. Oh, Purdy. We barely mounted out in time, but I was hurt. Badly. My family came to school, and I was healed. They were furious. Daughter of the noblest family in the north, dabbling in dark magic. I'm so sorry. I was pulled from school. I didn't return until halfway the next year. My family recovered up the event and the scars. Ima's one of the best cosmetic witches around, so I asked her for help. It was like nothing happened. Except when I returned, Saf had already made new friends. Nell and I couldn't believe it. She was up to the same mischief, dragging you two into trouble. We were so distant after that, and she never approached me about it. I don't think she knows how bad I was hurt. She never asked. We never thought to. No, it's okay. It wasn't all Saf's fault. I got myself into that mess. But the Raven would die of old age before I let her hurt anyone else. You spent so much time trying to ruin our plans. I guess it never occurred to me why. I have nightmares now. The creature, the moment, it comes from me in my dreams. It haunts me. It quite possibly literally does, given the world we're in. If there was any other choice, I would never go back, but now it's our only way into the spell tower. Or we could use the blood thing we spent an entire chapter to get. I'm just saying. I could open another passage. That is an extremely dangerous idea. It is. I'm all for it. This time you're not going in alone. You've got us. The earthquakes are becoming more frequent. This is our best chance. Count me in. Okay, let's do it. But inside, we stick together. Alright, everyone stand back. Brace yourselves. This one will be a bit bigger. Wow, you're amazing. Let's go. And this time, nobody gets hurt. Narrator, they all die. Because I'm gonna go, like, save before we do that. Bye, Gelda. Oh, she's dead. Who else wants to die? Insert the ogre song from Warhammer 3. Because it's the Maw, see? Anyways. It's okay, Purdy. Breathe. We're here with you. Okay. It's coming. I can't. It's okay, Bert. You're not alone. Is this a boss? No, I can help. Let's do this. That is an interesting looking boss. $200 health. That means it probably has a phase 2. Okay. Let's do this. Hold on, let's try one of those fancy-dancy items here. Don't mind me, I'm just spending my first round buffing. Jesus Christ. They can just do an AoE 10 damage hit now. And it gets 3 actions. Of course it does. Of course the boss summons ads. Every single boss for, like, Over half the game has been an ad boss. Every single boss is an ad boss. Why are they all ad bosses? It casts Doom? Okay. I mean, in 3 turns, she's gonna die. That's what I mean. Or whatever. We'll see, actually. I'm not sure what it does. But in 3 turns, we'll see what that does. Cookies, maybe? I like cookies. Cookies are cool. Alright. Whoops. God damn, I didn't even mean to do that. Oh, whatever. That sucks. That's on me. I even knew it was there. Z turns into a Dreadlord. Ah! Hang on, the boss has got to take 15 rounds and actions before, you know, anything else happens. Oh, time to take her final action. Because Z about to die. It's hard to, like, say that casually. Z. Oh my god! It can summon more ads. Okay, if those of you don't understand, most bosses have, like, for lack of a better way to put it, an ad cap. So, you know, it's generally 3. They can have 3 mobs out at a time. Sometimes it's 4. The Snatcher actually had like 5. Or, excuse me, 6. This one's just summoning more ads. Just because screw you. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, the boss has to take 75 actions really quick here. Middle again. Oh, or bottom. My bad. Oh. Can I have an action, please? Can I take a round of... Okay, hey, there we go. Now I want to know what would happen if Doom went off. Yeah, I kind of balls to the wall on that one because the boss casts Doom. So hardened rages are actually really rare tier. Back in the day, they used to do hardened rages like that in vanilla and BC both. Most bosses had hardened rages. In fact, it was usually called enrage. That's where the term comes from. The soft enrage term comes from taking the enrage mechanic and doing a gradient version of it. Excuse me. We did it. Yeah, let's not drag another creature down there. Yeah, exactly. The most infamous example is Brutalis in the Sunwell, which I believe was like a 6-minute timer, which was insanely tight timing, especially back in the day. Like, you had to have your entire DPS team popping in order to hit that timer. Thanks for letting us help you. I know it wasn't easy. Petitiate prize. Aw, we got you. Can we do this someplace that isn't like the hell dimension, though? Please. Good morning, Blaytwell. Had a whole discussion about game design. It was a really good discussion. Reality's dying, so that's cool. Oh, hey, it's Beacon. Restore 50 HP to all party members, conscious or not. That's just a reset button. Boost entire party's PAL for 3 turns. Jeez Louise. I guess this is the, hey, would you like something to spend your money on? Which, yeah. Grab a couple of those. Just get like a reset. I'll get 2 reset buttons and then 2 buff items. Ah! Really hate how that works. Yeah, do we know anything about the specifics of those yet? Oh, they actually updated the model to show that her eye is covered. That's actually kind of cool. Don't worry, Mr. Ed. Now you're on the winning side. So I feel like this might be the last dungeon. Let me double check something, because I'm kind of curious if it is. Oh yeah, fun fact, Ross. I saw that Josh Drive Hayes has a video out saying why I started playing WoW. And I can't help but notice that it's very specifically WoW Classic. So, you know, complete lack of interest there. That's not true. Negative interest, excuse me. Look, you can enjoy Classic as much as you want, but don't tell me you've started playing WoW because you're playing WoW Classic. It's disingenuous at best, and clickbait at worst. Like, Midnight's coming out, so I'm playing vanilla. No. Really? D20 Archon? Wow. Like, why would they want WoW Classic announcements? Don't they have what they want? Isn't the whole point of wanting WoW Classic that you want the old game unchanged? Why would you want new stuff for that? No offense if you do, I just don't understand the mentality. I haven't looked at them, Pika. And I never will! Anyways, Pocopia is coming out soon. But how is that having your cake and eating it? Like, having your cake and eat it usually means you get the best of both worlds. I know that's not literally what it means, but that is the application of what that means. These people want two things that are fundamentally opposed to each other. So... I want my hand to be on fire and wet at the same time. That's actually a bad example because you can't do that. I want to have a hand and not have a hand at the same time. There you go. That's why I had to walk that back, Mook. Because it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Sigh. I'm glad Metal Gear Solid 4 is getting ported. Really. Because Metal Gear Solid 4 has been console locked for way too long. Now if we could just get Red Dead Redemption 1 off the PS3 and we'd be good. Oh god, Ross, no! And my brain just explodes. The one and only game that caught my attention was the new Castlevania. We'll see. Big asterisk there of we'll see. Oh yeah, I was gonna check something. Sorry. Okay, so it does look like this is the final dungeon. I don't know how long it is, but FYI. Update your guesses if you haven't, etc., etc. We finally made it. Eldritch's probably on the top floor. We must hurry. Then what are we waiting for? I haven't seen much about Pragmata that makes me interested in it yet. Call that more curiosity than interest. We'll see what they do with it. You know what? I just really want to beat this game. Sorry, I really want to be on with this game. We're just gonna go. Okay. I don't know, Walker. I haven't seen much in the way of details yet. This will be our second forced stealth section, too, Dakota. My biggest question is if the new Castlevania game will even come close to the Curse of Shadows series. I know there's only 2 of those, but those 2 games were really, really good. Like, shockingly good. Actually, someone do me a favor. What was the golden number of Curse of Shadows 1? Or whatever it's called. Yes, D20, they were. Is it Curse of Shadows? Is it Curse of the Moon? It's Curse of something. It's the real Bloodstained games. Insert elitism here. Yeah. It's an AoE heal, too. Bananas, as we know, do lots of AoE healing. That's what I thought. 215. Yeah, that sounds about right. Considering it's not even out yet, that's pretty impressive, Pika. No, it was Curse the Moon. Walker was right. And Blade Troll already got the answer. What? Oh, I get it. Cool. I think reality's breaking. Just a kind of a general vibe I'm getting. And again, I get that vibe in real life, so what the hell do I know? Nice, Pika. Can I have a turn, please? Okay, I just want you to see her health and realize that they did that in one round before I had the option to move. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Can we... Oh. Okay. Yeah, Lord knows Nintendo's last Nintendo Direct was, pathetic, I think is the word I want to use. Yeah, we'll go with pathetic. Okay, so our invisibility has a timer. Cool, cool. Good to know. More Longfellows. Gotta have Longfellows. Yeah, this is the final dungeon. So, yeah, I'm gonna be cutting off the guessing game pretty soon. Please don't completely kill me before I can move. Jesus Christ. I would say yeah, Walker. Off the top of my head, I'd say this game should have been about half the length it was. Just straight up 50%. And that would take a few specific changes here and there, but I think it's doable. I imagine a bunch of people did tracks here. Well, again, the length itself isn't really the problem, as contrary as that sounds. Problem is, the game is just not doing what it needs to with the length that exists. True, late of all. Like I said, a few specific changes here and there would probably smooth over everything. By definition, no, Walker. Unlike the people who want WoW Classic but more, you cannot have it both ways. If it has Mystic Quest effect, then it doesn't have Sunshine Syndrome. Because the whole point of Sunshine Syndrome is it never gets better. It's just the quality dips, and then you put the game down at that point. I wonder what the level cap is of this game. We're already level 25 and still going. We got our last new ability at level 18. Welcome, student of magic. You've been judged worthy to challenge the trial of sorcery. Sure. What? Yeah, no, if you're going to power through a game because it has an awesome outro, that's Mystic Quest effect, right? Like, to a T. Double text, and dual text and triple text would work really well in a game like this. What's funny is Wind Waker had Mystic Quest effect, if you remember. These have a decent chunk of health. And then I won! Oh, wow. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, no, JRPGs in part or in whole are a lot about earning it. Getting to the point where you have earned crushing everything. Because, yeah, some people look at spamming Ultima or Luminaire as a bad thing, but no, that's a feature. That's something you, the player, have earned. And the reward is spamming Ultima and Luminaire. I mean, it's fully opt-in anyways. You don't have to spam Ultima or Luminaire every fight, right? Well, yeah, going back to something you yourself pointed out, Bladefall. FF6's average combat turn speed for Trash, and pretty much the entire game, doesn't move much. Same thing with Chrono Trigger. I love this peaceful music as we watch reality crack. Earthbound's system was kind of brilliant, although, honestly, more the beginnings of a good idea than a good idea itself. I still give it points, because it was still a good system, but you can expand on the Earthbound system. And it's shocking how few games have done so. Excuse me. Ugh. For all its flaws, Earthbound was weirdly ahead of the curve in terms of game design. Yep, Thousand Year Door had that. Another excellent game. Go figure. Well, let's get the best weapon in the game here for... I do like this idea. It's like, who do you want your ultimate weapons on? Nah, I'm good. Ish, Walker? I mean, I didn't even finish the most recent Dark. And that was one of the things I wanted to do, was check to see if that page is up to date. Gilda's theme is with it. I'm with it. Honestly, I'm with most of the themes so far. Although Aeldras is probably the best one total, but Yo, it's funny is we have now played 2 JRPGs in a row where everything is free and you can just cast it all willy-nilly. Didn't do that on purpose. Just, it's a thing. Okay, so... Oh, I see. Okay. Reset. I'm curious if a version of Aeldras will play during the final boss battle, which is pretty clearly going to be her. It's that or Safina, which would be funny. If Safina just comes out of nowhere, it's like, hey, I'm the final boss again. I know you called this like hours ago, but it's still true. Can I go, please? Please? Please, can I go? Please let me go! Oh my god! I've noticed another thing they've been doing is really cranking up the speed of enemies in late game. So not only do they go first, but they go more often. Because it's a Final Fantasy Tactics or Final Fantasy X style initiative system. Let's do... Ima. Okay, supposedly there's like 3 super optionals in this game, which we are not doing, don't even ask. For bosses, it makes a degree of sense, but yeah, for trash? Paint the future. I like it. Art is hard. Lol. I guess that isn't the spot. Alright, whatever. But yeah, I have this horrible feeling that the actual final boss is just going to be ridiculously overtuned. It's going to be like, okay. Don't worry, I won't instant win. I have something else I want to try first. When we get there. Well, making a slow but heavy-hitting character can work, and usually does, actually. The problem with it boils down to the fact that it's too easy in too many systems for that to just get completely bodied, right? To use a bit of an example of that, hang on a sec, can I can't. Okay, cool, let's do this. Let's say that there's a game, of course, I can't think of an example of such a game off the top of it, but let's just assume there's a game where you can have a really slow character, but like they hit like an absolute truck, just straight up one-shot stuff, right? But let's also say that the enemy gets 5 rounds to their 1. Like, generally speaking, most systems favor the people going 5 rounds. This is also true because of how it tends to do damage calculations. Put another way, if your guy who hits like a truck is going to get... You cannot reduce damage below, say, 1, and is going to keep getting hit over and over and over for 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, eventually that's just going to overwhelm them based on sheer numbers, right? Well, it's funny you say that, Blade Taval. Because ultimately, and I jotted this down in my notes already, there's not really any good variety in these characters. I don't want to sound negative, but I don't have a better way to phrase it. All of them have some kind of a buff. Almost all of them have some kind of a debuff. There's usually some kind of terrain affecting thing, which has some utility to it. And they all have like your basic ranged attack, your big ranged attack, your super heavy attack, and that's it. This is what we were talking about earlier. There's no real support. There's no real damage. There's no real tank. Everyone is in everything. There's also no variance between damage types, so the glass shards or the bubble snap or the painted sphere don't do any different damage. They just do the same damage. So there's no difference. So the reason I ended up bringing these three is pretty much specifically because of the fact that I knew by the time I got to this point in the game, when I could select my party, I knew their distance, their tiles, by memory, because the game forced me to use her and forced me to use Z. Zer. And I really liked her triple strike. That's it. That's the reason I settled on these three. What was I doing? Damn. There we go. That's what the last one's for. Yeah, we'll see if they do anything with the whole magic erasing thing. Oh, I only get so many moves. Okay. Okay. I hate these puzzles. I've always sucked at these puzzles. I have never claimed otherwise. Can I turn them all off? Does that count? Yeah, pretty much, Tyr. That's kind of where I tend to be at. It's interesting that it forces a reset after so many turns. Once again, easy to turn them all off. Okay. Okay. I had the thought earlier that that might work, and then I thought, no, that's silly. Oh no! It's an evil book! Oh no, Bax! This is a weird commentary, but there's also a lot of enemies in here. Which I mentioned because most dungeons don't have that many enemies in them. So, enemies that are faster than you, enemies that hit like an absolute truck, and lots of them. Keep in mind, I feel like I'm actually over-leveled at this point. Like, you notice my levels aren't even getting that much stat ups now, because it feels like I've started hitting the treadmill point. Also, if you're missing that, the entire enemy team is getting to go before I do now. And they have enough range to do something about that. Yeah, no kidding. I'm right there with you, Blade 12. Like, this is... Yeah. Yeah, that was like the opening salvo. See what I mean? We got 1 power and 1 speed at level 26. I bet you money that level 27 will be 1 attack power and 1 speed again. Oh no, these are probably horrifically difficult encounters. Yeah, not in a good way. Like, I enjoy a last dungeon with difficult encounters, but this feels like a slog. Nah, I'm good. No, speed is directly connected to initiative. You are correct. I should also mention I've been raising my speed as a secondary only to raising my attack power. So a lot of the equipment I have set up right now is to raise my speed. The only nice thing is I'm getting about a quarter of a level per encounter. Yeah, just to put that into perspective, 43, 52, 39, 40, 37, 37. And yeah, my attack power is 126, 102, 102. Well, there's our warp point. That might be point of no return right there. So there's Safina. Saf, oh please. She's breathing. Looks like Eldra put a suspended sleep spell on her. Oh, thank you, Rava. I think she'll be okay. But where's the headmistress? She must be up ahead. The headmistress is up ahead? Sorry. I'm sorry, Mara. We have to keep going. But my sister is sleeping and fine. Get her somewhere safe. We'll take it from here. No, game, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't make me lose my best damage dealer. With a quake. Stand back. Stone shaping. Extremely useful skill. I plan to be headmistress one day. Wouldn't look good if I let all my students fall into the abyss. Where's Baudavinia? We believe Elge is on the next floor, but we have to hurry. This place is falling apart. And what are we waiting for? Alright, I'll stay here and keep this place from collapsing. Wait! I've decided to join the party. Ah. Look how far you've come, young mistress. Go, I'll watch over your sister. Thanks, Aok. Please help Aodra. She doesn't deserve to suffer any longer. Don't worry, we'll kill her to death! That's barely a joke. Okay, so, final vendor run. Let's see, any last minute equipment? Nope. There's our last minute access to potions. And yeah, that's it. That's right, we're here to save Orphan. Oh god. I'm gonna laugh if that's what this ends up being. So I'm gonna go ahead and close off the guessing game, because I have a feeling we're there, right? So if you haven't got your guess in, this is a good time to change it. Yeah. Or do it yourself, or do it for the first time. You know what I mean, you know what I mean. I'm gonna add a few negatives. No, I really am. Let's see here. Where's the... Oh, there it is. Duh. I'm blind. How do you spell Bernadetta from Fire Emblem Three Houses? Ross! Ross! Ah, I lost Ross. Yeah, I was right the first time. Okay. I'll type up more specific thoughts later. For now, let's go ahead and close off the guessing game. Okay, let's do what I can only assume is the final boss. I actually don't know. I mean, she's right there, so that's probably the final boss. This is gonna suck. I can already tell. Upcoming depiction of semi-graphic wound and blood-like substances. Scenes containing violence, abuse, and loss of autonomy. Content warning. Eldra! You have to stop. Release the sapling. What? Don't be a fool. The Dark Fold is trying to break free. We have to contain it or everyone will... Boy, it's sure a good thing we never used that eldritch thing that we could have been using here. Now it's loose. Sweet. Bax, get back. Something's coming. Eldra, listen to me. We must... Yeah! What? Fold. I can't. Not again. No. I will protect you all. I promise. Be gone, you foul thing! Eldra, what are you seeing? Oh. So, she just killed Bax. Bax? No, Bax, no, 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 no. Is he... What's happening? Bax. Hey, Coven Mage, you hear me? Oh no, Bax. Headmistress, please listen. What are you saying is not real. It's the liquid from the cauldron. She can't even hear us. We'll save them. Come, creature of darkness. Okay. Hey, she didn't go before I did. Holy crap. Ow. Yeah, Blood Wings is certainly a look I wasn't expecting from this game, but here we are. You know, Eldra, I know we decided not to kill you, but could you please stop trying to kill us while we're not killing you? Of course she summons ads. Why wouldn't she? And you know this is only phase 1. Ow! Okay, okay. Oh my god, she has 500 HP. Okay, how could I possibly be underleveled? Ah! Why? Okay, let's do this. I was right, though. This song is a variant on her song. It just doesn't have the lyrics like her song did. I am quite sure I even have the best weapons in the game. Not counting any super optional stuff. And I got a full overhaul of gear in this dungeon. Please stop killing her. Please stop killing her. Okay. On the one hand, I could heal her. But on the other hand, I could do damage. I can't let this happen again. I won't. Okay. Cool. You'd think an entire setting where mages are commonplace would have the concept of a dispel spell. But here we are. Look at that turn order. It's Merit, Gilda, Boss, add, Gilda, Boss. Jesus Christ. The ads have 60 health. I think you might be right, Blatevall. Which is just a really weird thought, but here we are. Right, I can't use items on her because she's below me, not adjacent to me. Alright, let's just get, let's have some bananas. The safety word is bananas. I mean, this is what we were talking about earlier. Just due to the nature of how turns work and damage formulas work, generally speaking, having a really high damage stat just doesn't work. Because having a high speed stat almost always wins. There are very few exceptions to that. Yeah, one giant hit that can miss. Not very useful. Actually, yeah, late of all. Speed was just king in Arceus, as it is in so many other games. There's a reason it's I'm a hasted fighter in melee range, and not a I'm a buffed fighter in melee range, right? Which is another example of that. She's not evil, she's just desperately trying to murder her own students. In an actually paranoid fear rage. It's fine, it's fine. I sure hope so, Linharith. It's okay, I'll save you all by murdering you horribly. God, these things are literally body blocking me from even hitting her now. Get out of my way. Oh, Gilda's dead. Does every single trash mob need to go multiple times? Constantly? I'm just asking for a friend, really. Okay, now that I can take a turn. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, well, I was gonna wait a little bit on this, but let's go ahead and just do this. We only have like 2 of these. That just gets the board a little bit there. %, Blade to all. You'll notice I'm not even trying. Every single boss with ads has had a specific action to respawn those ads. Every single one of them. Wait, why can I only teleport over here? That... Really, game? Okay. I'll waste my turn here. Didn't even do anything. Cool. Ugh. I just... Okay. Feel like I just did one of these. Literally last round. Hey, we killed one. What is she at? Is she even scratched? Okay, she's at about half health. Oh my god. I've burned both Omega Phoenix Downs. And she's at half health. Well, that's how good, D20. I think the point of the bombs is they just do static damage. I'm gonna laugh if she just summons more ads next round. No, not yet. Can I, like, go? Can I take an action? Can I move? Can I twitch a little bit? Like, just kind of scooch around, like, hey. No? Okay. So let's pop this in the assumption we can do some damage next round, because we need to get to phase 2 and find out how bad that is. Because you know there's a phase 2, right? Why? Why do you haunt me like this? Why are you murdering me, lady? I feel like this would be a much more engaging boss fight if the ads didn't exist, put simply. Or, as you say, maybe she had one ad. As is, this is just dragging. Never mind the fact that she's doing a ludicrous amount of damage every round because of her 2 frickin' ads. Sorry, 3 ads. That's up to you, Wolverine. What do you think? I mean, honestly, the worst boss in this entire game was still the beacon fight right at the beginning, which I think is like the second fight of the game. She has 1 health. She has 1 health! And I lack the ability to do damage to her because she's too far away. What the hell is that attack? Well, whatever it is, she's about to do a second time because she can just do that. And dead. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. You're going to do this. You're going to attack me. That's going to suck. Then, you're going to go. That's going to suck too. And you have 1 health. Literally 1. So we're going to assume there's no phase 2. And go for broke. Phase 2. Oh my god. Where am I? Bud! Ifig? I'm here, love. Are you with us? Yes, I think so. Yeah, you killed Bax, by the way. The fold, it was never here. Damn it, Immortal Slime! I swear to God! We lost you, Bod. It was the cauldron, wasn't it? So sorry. Yeah, you murdered someone, by the way. Like, I know that, like, this is magic and there's mitigating circumstances, but you did murder someone. He's right down there. Like, he wasn't much of a character, so I'm not sure how much we care, but, you know. What, D20? We don't care when our dad dies at the beginning of Mass Effect Andromeda. Thank you, Immortal Slime. Always appreciate. And as usual, if you want to put that towards something, please let me know. Also, can't we just heal him? Right? Like, surely we have... We literally have healing magic. Right? Like, surely we can heal Bax. Dragon, Age 4, DBZ, Kakarot, and the Cold Steel block. Done. Oh God, he's got the blood in him. Oh no. Anyways, we need you with us now. We have to stop this. I mean the sapling. The magic, these earthquakes, all of it. We must break the sapling free or everything will be destroyed. Please trust me. Let us protect you for once. Okay. Okay, I guess. I'll put so much energy into it. It'll take a substantial amount of power to break the seal. Merit? It's time for the duo of new mages. Ugh, what the... He's gone. He's gone, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone. So, hey, Ibn, there's something coming out of your eyes. I don't know if you've seen that. Wait, is that Ibn Oxley? This thing. Oh, no. Ibn, what are you doing? All because of this thing. Don't let him leave. He took it. This is very bad. Let's hurry and get it back. But how? Oxley's the most dangerous mage in the world. No, he's nothing but a fraud. I took him down easily before. Rook is correct. What do you mean? Ibn Oxley is not a conventional mage. His magic is bound to the ghost realm, so he normally can't use it. If he opens up a rift, he'll be able to draw power from the realm. It'll tear his soul apart, and he'll no longer be himself. A rift? You mean like a passageway? He is transforming and not in control of himself. He plans to take the sapling through the rift with him. We can't let him do that. Who knows what would happen if the sapling were to disappear completely? His handler, Bax, was assigned by the Coven. He's the only one who can prevent Oxy from losing control. But he... Yeah, you murdered him. I know, manslaughter. It's not your fault. It is my fault, but now I'm too weak. We'll take care of this. I can't. We've come this far. We won't let Ikenfell be lost. So now we have to go fight Ibn Baxley, who's like a ghost? Okay. It's a weird last boss fight, but whatever. I think there's a term for that. It's called the Space Flea from Nowhere. Like, why is this our last boss? Like, okay, I'm sorry to flex here. But there's this thing called thematic appropriateness. And it means that you want there to be some kind of narrative reason why you're fighting the last boss, in addition to just being whatever the most powerful person wandering around is, right? Like, even FF9, which actually came up with the terms Giant Space Fleet from Nowhere, still has a thematic reason for fighting Necron at the end of it. But even that's not what I would call a good example of this. So, why are we fighting this guy? Is this just so that we can have our last minute... Wait! The jokey guy was actually... The freaking hedonism bot was the final boss all along. Like, why? We'll see what they do with this, but this is probably going to be a story negative. Ibn is who? We know you're angry and in pain, but please put down Bax in the sapling. You must. What? Bax. Bax is... Bax is gone. I should be doing this in the Chauncey voice. Bax is gone! See, Kefka's another excellent example of a good way to do this, because Kefka, ignoring the fact that Kefka is the main character of FF6, is also at the thematic core of FF6. FF6 is all about connections between people, and Kefka is completely alone. He is the one major character who has no connection to anybody else. Boom. Kefka. Significance. Narrative relevance. Done. This guy is just some... bop. Without him, all is forfeit. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, we are leaving. Stop him! Okay. That's a good question, actually, Blittle. Oh god, I blew all my expensive items on the previous fight. How much health do you have? 80. Oh, that's terrifying. Okay, okay. Okay. There's only one thing worse than seeing a boss with tons of health. Seeing a boss with very little. Ironically, I would agree with you if they actually did keep the numbers low. The problem is they kind of don't. Like, I get what you mean, but the boss we just fought had 500 HP. And I know that's low by RPG standards, but when we're doing like 10 to 15 damage a round... See, I'm gonna fully buff, because I don't trust this fight at all. Okay, not the range, of course I don't. That's a good question, Blade 12. How much did the final boss of Paper Mario 2 have in terms of health? Because I know it wasn't a ton. I could tell you off the top of my head how much the final boss of Paper Mario 1 did. It was 99. Because there was no third digit in Paper Mario 1. There's like nothing I could do. But I am with you, though, Jesse's Mask. I prefer it when the boss has, you know... when the final boss of a game has 100 HP, I consider that to be a good thing, especially if the rest of the game is bounced around that. See Paper Mario. 150. There you go. And that was a brutal fight. In all the right ways, too. This phase just feels like a damage tax phase. Either that or this is your buff phase. Get your buffs up for when the real fight starts. Speaking of... Okay, now how much HP does he have? 100. Oh no. I can already see where this is going. Yeah, he also has tons of mobility, I noticed that. Like, I'm having trouble reaching him with most of my attacks. In fact, I cannot attack him for the second round in a row on my main damage dealer. So the enemies have been, like, universally ignoring the puppets, but just because, just in case, he might decide to attack the puppet. You don't know. You don't know. It might work for once. No, Czar. However, if the boss attacks you multiple times, each hit is a different thing. Like that there. I missed the first one, but I got the second one. Speaking of extremely minor complaints, I kind of wish I could see the boss health without having to take a moment to see the boss health. If I explain what I mean by that, how much health does the boss have right now? Well, I'll just target him, right? Or maybe it just shows over there. No, you have to actually specifically go to this, scooch over here, and then see 120. Which means we're up to 200 health so far. Which still isn't as much as the last boss, which continues to worry me. Let's do this. Yeah, I mean, they literally have the heads-up display on health bars anyways. It's just it only shows up when you select the command. I mean, look at this. Boom. Do you see it right there? There's the health bar. It's right under his feet. Just make that a thing. Even if you don't want to show the specific number for whatever reason, you could still just have the bar there so you have a vague idea of the boss health. It's not like anything is preventing us from doing that other than just spending the time doing it. It's a very strange choice. Speaking of which, remind me to do another round of healing soon. And yeah, exactly. As Dakota and Jesse's Mask just point out, you can just have the boss health up there. That's a very old traditional way to do that, going back to the arcades. Some old NES games have a section... Ninja Gaiden 1 has a thing for the boss health, even if there's no boss on the screen. It's just real estate dedicated towards the boss health. And when the boss shows up, the health fills up. That's frustrating. That's really frustrating. We'll do that. Hell, Star Fox 64 kind of made it a weird thing where you only got the... Oh, that got dark. Did you see that? Where Slippy has to be alive in order for you to actually see the boss health. Because they knew that was the only way someone would actually keep Slippy alive. Let's get some healing out here. You know, I hate to continue to complain about the core mechanic of the game, but the whole... The grid system matters a whole lot less because... Okay, let me explain this a little bit. The only way the grid system matters right now is because it affects positioning. There's no terrain. There's just positioning. Now, positioning is fine. A little simple, but it's fine. There's something there. Wow, I'm doing no damage to this guy. But the boss has so much mobility that the positioning stops mattering. It's an entire aspect of gameplay that's just gone. And like he just keeps bouncing around to the point where it's legitimately irritating to try and do anything to him. So why don't we spin around recovering? What do we got? What do we got? He is completely ignoring the ad, whose entire purpose it is just to be something to distract the boss, by the way, so it's good to know that entire spell is completely worthless. Hey, off the deeper end. Welcome to the final boss, I think. That can't be it. It's only 200 HP, so what's next? How much worse is this gonna get? Rift. Okay. Oh, thank God, it gave me a full heal at least. Yep, there's our last boss, some random shadow thing that has nothing to do with anything. I'd like to posit a negative story for the fact that it's just some random shadow thing that has nothing to do with anything. Oh, they're up to 400 HP for this fight. Okay. You know what? It is weirdly cute. Like, weirdly cute. No? D20? Like... Okay, so the headmistress wasn't seeing anything that was real. Let's start with that. But she was seeing the Ultra Doom spell that's been dead for a while, which looked like someone vaguely painting vectors lines on top of each other. Yeah, the Darkfold. This is some random shadow lizard. The closest thing this looks like to anything previous in the game is it looks like all of the ghosts, who are all black with a single red eye. So this is just another ghost. Now, if this is a victory lap, sure. I actually like quite a few games that do victory lap final bosses. Interesting song choice, too. It would probably help if I gave a damn about the random joke character who's been an asshole the entire game. But I'm just not feeling anything. I'm sorry. Like, the Aeldra fight had a lot of build-up. In fact, most of the game was build-up to the Aeldra fight, especially narratively. This is just some dude. I'm gonna laugh if we just heal Bax and he's like, oh, Bax is alive. Okay, cool. Since we know the summon creatures are completely useless. I notice he's not summoning ads. Knock on wood. Oh yeah, Bax will show up in the drum and they'll be like, no, you must find yourself. Don't give in to the darkness within you, Ibn. There they are. Listen, we've got to have a last-minute boss out of nowhere that has no... I mean, Space Flee from nowhere, right? Honestly, this music feels like it would have been better for the Aeldra fight. I wonder if it was originally. And don't mistake me, her song was better. It's just, like... I'm confused. Oh, I do, actually, off the deeper end. FF7's a good example of that. Yeah, this music's like, this is a big dramatic scene. It's so dramatic. It's so dramatic. And it's nothing. It's nothing. I feel nothing. I feel nothing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you've made this game, please stop watching immediately because I'm bashing your game. Don't worry. I'm only going to give it a couple of negatives. Well, I guess we'll kill the ads. Why not? Wait, how much HP do the ads have? 30. That's weird. Like, that's really weird. Oh god, I'd have to think about it for a favorite Victor Lap boss. I mean, Lufia 2 comes to mind immediately, but like a lot of that's on the narrative axis. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. You see what I mean earlier, by the way? Did you see that? My damage went from 8 to 12 for getting the crit. For getting the parry timing. Because, yeah. Oh, yeah. Pokemon Violet. That's a good one. That's a really good one. For a Victory Lap boss. And yeah, Okami's a good one too. Sorry, I didn't mean to not acknowledge that one. So, bets that there's another phase after this, which would be like phase 5, I think, at this point. No, 6, wouldn't it? It'd be phase 6. You know what? Let's just get rid of that so we have some mobility again. I mean, outros being disappointing is the norm. Has been for a long time. So, yeah, phase 5 called it. So now it's a flying ghost thing. You know what the worst insult I could give this fight is? I want to just hit the I win button just to get it over with. I never actually played at Triaxia, perhaps amusingly. 200 HP again. I mean, Mystic Quest is an easy pick there, Blade 12, but let me think about that for a second. Okay. Actually, yeah. FF8 had a weirdly good outro, considering it's FF8. Like, no offense to FF8 lovers out there, I'm one of them. But FF8 is a very rough game until the outro, at which point it just kind of starts popping out of nowhere. Of course it summons more ads. Why wouldn't it? Hello? This is ads the game. Phantom with an F is the name of this boss. I looked earlier. And dead. I mean, even if you consider the theme to be trauma, given what happens with Eldra, which, for the record, I don't think that's the theme. This doesn't hit it. What's this guy's trauma, exactly? I mean, I know, his lover just died. I'm pretty sure that would make me sad, too. Unlike Valerian, who's always happy when my lover dies. That's why I had to switch from the Canadian girlfriend to the Australian girlfriend. Oh my god. Okay, so hang on. I'm gonna finish the game, Valerian. I'm sorry, I'm not delaying this anymore. I refuse! You can't make me! You can't make me! Damn, I think I used all of my eggs on the first of the final boss fights. Silly me, actually using items. I should have held on to my elixirs. Oh my god, Ross, this final boss sucks so hard! Sorry. I mean, hi. This game. We were trying to think of really good outros in games that kind of suck. Like, the biggest gap in between quality from outro to rest of game. Yeah, they're all like, oh, this boss is the super most amazingest, powerfulest thing ever. Okay, why? Well, he's access to ghost magic. Okay, and? Well, he's got ghosts, see. Wow, that was... Summoning more ads. Of course the boss is summoning more ads. That's all the bosses do in this game is summon ads. Okay, let's spin around recovering, because we're really low. Hang on, what's his health at? Actually, he's at 44 health. So let's do... Let's use one of these Longfellows. Hi, Bragwin. Welcome back. You missed the heart-pounding section, literally. I'm glad you weren't here for that. Buff, 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 buff. Yeah, but I guarantee you there's another phase. So I'm just going to kind of slow-mode it a little bit. I'm going to laugh if this is actually the last phase. See, that's why content warnings exist. It's for Brigwin. Sorry. Can we... I mean, this isn't even a villain. This is just some random... This is Team Rocket turning into an eldritch abomination. Which is a very strange creative choice. Oh, God. 9 health left. Okay, so let's find out how many more phases this thing has. Any guesses what the health is bleed of the next phase? Told you. 120? What? Okay, that's terrifying. Oh god, and we're not... Okay, we're still on the verge of death. We're still on the verge of death! Okay. I can make this work. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get our heals out. Then we're gonna do more item usage-y. Let's do... Oh, gosh, that's actually a good question. Let's do that. Okay. Oh, goddamn. Is he 1 square out of range of flare? He is 1 square out of range of flare. God damn it. Just die, Zello. Yeah, flare is so limiting. It does some decent damage, but lining it up is such a pain. No, no, no. I do like how his attacks is just him freaking out now. He's not even attacking us anymore. He's just in pain. One step forward. Literally one. Is there another phase? We're out. But the rift isn't closing. It's getting worse. We can't close it, not without backs. What do we do? The sapling is still inside. We can't get it out. Then why did we just beat the boss? We'll be able to get away either. Not like this. Merritt, I'm scared. I don't want to die. It's okay. Come here. I don't know what to do. Everyone hold tight. We failed after everything we've gone through together. No, we haven't. He's not gone. Not completely. I can bring him back. Rook, I need you to draw a healing rune around him. Do you think we can do it now? Might be too late. We can. I know we can. I mean, it's better die. Alright, let's do it. Merritt, keep him warm. Don't touch him. Give him back. I can't. God. If you can do this all new powerful magic, then I can too. Ugh. You know, I kind of called that too. You did it. Vax. What's happening? It's Ibn. He's, we just kicked his ass 6 ways sideways. And, as usual, the game acted like it didn't even happen. Let's see. Drop your spells. Let me see him. Oh, Ibn. Look at you. I'm gone for one moment and you fall apart. You're a pain in my side, you know that? You run foolishly into danger. You constantly make me worry. Yet I treasure every moment of it. Because I get to be with you. Sorry. I'm being unkind. I apologize. Hang on. I need to de-gauze for a second. Get the toxicity out. Because that last boss sucked! God! Alright, hang on. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. Ibn and Bax are completely irrelevant to the narrative. Did you notice that? They have absolutely nothing to do with anything. They show up, they get in the way a couple of times, and then they go do their own thing off camera. Even when they're telling us exposition about what's going on, it's actually wrong. So they're just lying to us, the player. Yeah, it's just, why are you here? Oh no, it's every NES and SNES game I own that I haven't reviewed that isn't part of another block. Dr. Winter. That's the full tier list. Or whatever. Ah, thank you, Mr. Red. Stab! Alright. I'll think about that, and that's the nicest possible way I can respond to that request. I'll think about that. The Coven assigned me to protect you. Funny how it started out as a job. I hated my life before then. Did you know that? It was dark, lonely. You're my spark, Ibn. My reason to wake up every morning. That's why I need you to come back to me. And I need you to come back better. I need you to care for me like I care for you. I'm not as invincible as you think. Yeah, considering you got bodied in a cutscene. Together I feel like we can do anything. Blah, 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 blah. But if you're gone, we'll never get that chance to be our best selves. I'm sorry, None of us will. I love you, and I know you love me, so come back. And get rid of the heart in your hair. It's kind of embarrassing. Oh, hey, it's gone. Ah! Oh, now it's a skull. And now it's a heart. Guys, end of the world. End of the world. Time and place. Time and place. Yes, thank you, Bax. Bax literally just said save it for later. These kids have something they need to do. Aren't we like 20s-ish? Is it too late? Yeah, the end of the world. Because we had a bonus last boss after the last boss for no reason. That's this whole game. Oh my god. That really is the entire game in a nutshell. We had reached a logical and natural conclusion point for the story to move forward, and then the game was like, wait! And then we ran in a circle for a minute, and then we could keep going. That's the whole game. Last time season changed, Ikenfell was destroyed, but its students, historians left us the knowledge to survive. So will we. We'll do even better for those who follow us. Merit. Gilda. Yeah, again. Nice sword. Flashy. I like it. What a bunch of show-offs. And we're dead. The poor groundskeeper. No. No, not like this. Not like this. Okay, okay. Okay, he didn't need us. So the Winter Stone is the freaking sword. I like the new look. It's work in progress. It's a work in progress. Saf, why didn't you tell your friends about me? At first I was embarrassed. I wanted to make a big splash, and I thought having an ordinary in the family would make me look weak. Which is funny, because actually the exact opposite would have probably worked for you. No, seriously, I'm super awesome despite having an ordinary in my family, right? I mean, come on. I never stopped. It felt too late to own up to the lie. Wow. Lying just comes so easy to me. Yeah. But I was a fool to be embarrassed. You grew up to be such an amazing person. I delighted in coming home to see you every summer. Despite the amazing adventures I had here, you were still my best friend. And that is not a lie. And now I'm also a witch. More powerful than you, even. Ha! Can't deny that. I've saved this school from disaster half a dozen times, but this time I really let everyone down. And when it truly counted, you were the one who came to the rescue. By complete coincidence. My beautiful, wonderful, ordinary sister. I'm sorry, Merritt. You deserved better. I wish I could take back the lies! The lies! But I can't. I can only hope to be a better sister to you in the future. The sister you deserved in the first place. Well, when you put your mind to something, nothing stops you. Dear Lucio, hey, I'm looking for my wife, who's also my sister. And I would just be like, ah! And that would have been the end of the game, and then the world would have blown up. So, can you forgive me? Not yet. I'm still furious with you. And hurt. But it's a start. I have some things to take care of, but I think there's one more person you need to talk to. Yeah. That's a good question, Saber for wife. No lives were lost on that fateful final day of Summertide. Eildra, with Ikenfell safe and sound, stepped down from her role as headmistress. 3's a good role for a reason. She and Ifig moved to a peaceful country home with way too much foliage. Look at that. Oh my god. They need to get out there with a frickin' hacksaw. Or a chainsaw. Or some flamethrowers. Look at that place. The gardens they grew drew visitors from far and wide. Eildra still carried her pain and guilt. But with love and patience, she was eventually able to forgive herself. And to heal. Radegund became Ikenfell's new headmistress, with Emma at her side. Emma opened a department dedicated to researching the seasons and the stars. Her groundbreaking research would lead the magic world into a new age of knowledge. Then they would discover space travel, turn into illithids. Indebted to Petronella for saving Bax's life, Ibn saw that they were inducted into the Coven. With their support, they were able to develop miraculous new alchemy. They never stopped being a fop, though. They even found a way to help Ibn control his powers, to Bax's great relief. Yeah, as I say, I was actually going to point that out. Is he just a ticking time bomb forever now? That's a hell of a thing to live with. With funding provided by Emma, Rook left the comfort of bookshelves and organized an overseas research voyage with Gilda. They ventured south to the port where they would depart, with Merritt as their guide. Merritt even met some fellow pyromancers on the way. Safina also went to join the coven, though doing much more mysterious work. Though talented and outspoken, it is said that she never puts herself first, instead seeking to elevate those around her. This change did not come easy to her, but filled her with a warmth she hadn't known before. Patricia disappeared after the event. Her family lost contact with her. She was last seen traveling south on her own. Her bones were found days later. And somewhere deep in the northern woods, despite the endless falling snow, a sapling began to grow. And I do believe that is it.
Sometimes I might see red as red pants of Santas, but when I'm feeling mad, I grab my paints and grab my canvas, use my brush to...
Odd choice for an ending song.
Or telling tales like manga instead of beefing like I'm Angus. I focus on my paintbrush, don't need hang-ups like a stalactite. My multicolored paintings act like magic, that's a fact of life. You have to understand this, cause I want us to start acting right. As much as I love pandas, y'all, the world is more than black and white. Let's paint the future real bright with the faith of Martin Luther. It feels right. Let's paint the future real bright with the faith of Martin Luther. It feels right. Let's paint the future real bright with the faith of Martin Luther. It feels right. Let's paint the future real bright with the faith of Martin Luther. It feels right. A lot of people feeling scared to save us, like it's a lost cause. But I'm steady brushing off my haters, something like I'm Bob Ross. Go ahead, grab my hand, be patient, and you might live to tell everyone in future generations how we fought for Ikenfell. Sometimes I get the blues, the news gets me depressed. Then I think about the clues that we've amassed about the past, unlocking mysteries on mysteries that tell us simple facts. I love listening to history, it acts like little maps. Sometimes I'm feeling green with envy of a boy or girl or envy. Still, no other school than Ikenfell I'd rather be attending. Sometimes I am feeling yellow, scared to make a work of art. I'm destined for a medal, must be brave to get a Purple Heart. Let's paint the future real bright with the faith of Martin Luther. It feels right. Let's paint the future real bright with the faith of Martin Luther. It feels right. Let's paint the future real bright with the faith of Martin Luther. It feels right. Let's paint the future real bright with the faith of Martin Luther. It feels right. A lot of people feeling scared to save us.
Yep, Martin Luther and Bob Ross exist in this setting. Go figure.
Something like I'm Bob Ross.
See?
Go ahead, grab my hand, be patient, and you might live to tell everyone in future generations how we fought for Ikenfell. Yeah, yeah, how we fought for Ikenfell. Yeah, how we fought for Ikenfell. Yeah, how we fought for Ikenfell.
I mean, I was wondering that too, because like Martin Luther King Jr. would make more sense, but would rhyme worse. So maybe they went with Martin Luther. Yeah, the Protestant guy. I have no idea, really. No judgment either way, I just find it interesting. Oh, speaking of songs with lyrics. They're good songs. The thing that irritates me is how often I had to listen to them, because boss fights take forever, and these are boss songs. So when you have to listen to that on loop many, many times... I mean, you know what I mean, right? Did give a plus for music direction. Trip hop? These are really long credits. Oh, I just had to say something. So let's see, this came out in 2020. Humble Games pushed it, but it was made by Happy Ray Games, which is mostly one person, as it usually is. Apparently, they specifically put vocals into the game after seeing Transistor, which is an interesting decision. I don't see anything about the main developer doing anything after this. I was kind of curious, like, was this successful? Did it sell well? Like, did they go on to make more stuff? I don't know. Oh, doesn't matter that much, I suppose. I mean, I wish the developer well, I really do. Whatever complaints I have, this is still a good game. And I tend to be pro indie developer in general, so, you know, duh. A 4-day game just because of me being sick. I apologize for that, everyone. So we're gonna get into something much more boring next. A management sim! I'll be here being like, yes! And everyone in chat's gonna be like, it'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. Anyone want to guess how long this game was? I'll bring them.
Decisions, universe is splitting from the gravity of astrophysics. Books magically enhance my vision. Reading happily despite our distance. There's something you've been missing. Gotta elevate the wealth of knowledge. My calling, astonished by every book on the shelf. The reason I'm compelled to help everyone else. Dark magic, gotta learn it myself. I see a world of mystery. It's dark, but it all makes sense to me. I found a spark while studying history. Eventually, the lock's gonna fit the key. I see a world you don't understand. It's dark magic. I'ma take a chance, not scared of havoc. I just wanna expand my mind, find out how it all began. It's a world we long abandoned. I'm just trying to understand it. It may not be how we planned it, but it's not how they branded it. It's the only way I free my mind when I feel alone among humankind. They can't see through the darkness, though I shine. I guess that's why I'm alone all the time. I know I'll find the truth between the lines. I know I'll find the truth between the lines.
These are really long. I'm almost through with the first half of the audit, and this is still going. I actually did find a speedrun of this game just to throw up for the ending, and I guess I don't even need to at this point. Good God. I guess I shouldn't complain. Any bets that there's going to be a post-credits? I mean, technically this song counts as a post-credits. Oh, is it finished? What's it say? Ah, ah! There's an epilogue! Ah, ah! Wait, you get to wait a second, game. Give me a second, give me a second. At least finish this. Merritt has decided to change her hairstyle slightly. It's like 3 people, Loner. 2 music people, 1 programmer, maybe someone else. I know that they brought on a consultant for this one. That's about all I know. Okay, game. Look at all this snow. Holy moly. Yeesh. Can't believe I let you talk me into this outfit. Are you kidding? You're gorgeous. You're just saying that because you love me. You're not wrong. It looks nice and cozy in there. How are you not freezing in that? Fire Witch, remember. Alright, I suppose it has its perks. Working for the Coven also has its perks. No, you made it. Barely. They said I could see you off as long as I run some errands while in the city. I still can't believe you and Gilda are doing this. Same. I have some theories about this continent and its magic. I hope to prove them correct, even if the sea does scare me. Doesn't scare me. I'm excited. Gilda, Tempest of the High Seas, captain of the fastest ship in the world. I keep telling you, you're not the captain. I am in spirit. Don't lose that list I gave you. List? Yeah, some ingredients I need them to collect on their trip. They can't be found in this part of the world. But I believe they're the key to unlocking the potential of new alchemy. I won't lose it. I'll be documenting everything on the journey. Yawn. I don't even like the word document. Ugh. I'm gonna miss you both. I already do. You'll see us sooner than you think. Now, I believe you two have a ship to catch. And I have a concert to attend. Take care. I can't get out of trouble. I can't get you out of trouble while I'm gone. Group hug. To wherever the wind may take us. But the whole plan was you'd be controlling the wind. To wherever I may take us. So, you like your new job? Yeah, I have all the resources I could possibly wish for. Heard you and Gilda broke up. You two okay? Yeah, we realized we both had feelings for other people. But we decided to stay good friends. Also, her new girlfriend, Jean, is really hot. How about you? If I remember correctly, you don't do relationships? Nope. Besides, making potions for the Coven is more fulfilling. If anyone in the Coven gives you a hard time, let me know. I will. I'm running late, and it looks like your concert's starting. Oh, I better hurry inside then. Enjoy the show! Here goes nothing. Why are they all ghosts? Ghosts. Yeah, near as I can tell, there's just going to be snow. Or maybe just more snow. I don't know. Like they've mentioned snow several times in the ending. If I might have everyone's attention. Thank you all for coming. Tonight, by popular request, we have a returning performer. Everyone, please welcome Sally Snow. Insert Earthbound music here. Thank you all for coming. This first song was written when I was in a bad place. Now the melody gives me comfort, reminding me of how far I've come. Hope it brings you comfort as well. Well, I don't know, 200, Ross? Are you not going to play the song? $421. Oh, up there you go. It finally stopped snowing. Woo! Just in time to watch the sunset. How did you find me? I followed my big gay heart. I also asked your parents. Ah. I'm glad you're back in touch with them. Took them a while to come around, but I'm also glad it did. Wow, understanding parents. What universe does this exist in? Your song was beautiful. Yeah, I wish we could have heard it. Aw, thank you. So's your dress. My muscles do look good in this outfit. They certainly do. I missed you. I'm sorry I left without saying anything. For what you went through, I don't blame you one bit. Are you happier now? I am. But I'm also lonely. Well, I'll be in town for a while. I'd love to spend more time together, if you want. How about you take me to dinner? My muscles and I would love to take you to dinner. Although in a couple weeks I'll be traveling east. Turns out teaching feisty young pyromancers is a hot business. Hey, I was wondering if you'd like to come with you. Yeah, I was thinking you'd take your performances on the road if you wanted. But, I don't know, maybe that's not... I'd love to. I was hoping you'd ask. Oh, I thought I might have to talk you into it. I'm tired of being alone, and traveling sounds great. Oh, then you won't be alone. Snows are taking a toll on everyone right now. I think a warm fire and comforting music is something everyone needs. I agree. Ugh, speaking of, it's freezing out here. Let's go back inside before my toes fall off. But the stars are just coming out. Want me to keep you warm? Scooch, scooch, scooch. Ah, so nice. Is that better? Yes. Yeah, I noticed she only has the, I forget what it's called. The eyelid makeup over her one eye. The end. Press A to continue. Thanks for playing. Art. Yeah, pretty solid overall. I have some definite issues with it, but I mean, I have issues with every game. Show me a game without issues. I'll show you a fantasy. Oh. quick. Well, I promised you a speed run. I don't know, I have it on good authority that Super Mario World is the worst Mario game ever made in the history of ever. At least that's how some people tend to think about it. My God. I do hear that a weirdly large amount, too. Alright, so this isn't perfect, but whatever. It's going off of a Twitch VOD instead of a YouTube VOD, because there are no YouTube VODs for this one. So there's actually a bunch of categories for this. I do believe this is our out-of-bounds assist percent. Let's get some appropriate music going. There we go. What, Pong, Ross? No, Tetris. You're going to say Tetris. Alright, I'm going to concentrate for a second. You're on D20. Enjoy the lunch. Oh, Ross. Of course, Ross. No flaws in that game whatsoever. Mario Wonder had that terrible very last stage. And probably something else somewhere. I don't remember anything else off the top of my head, though. Yeah, game without flaws. No, I like Tetris as the answer there. There's... Hold on, what? I missed something. What? Okay. And they're just out of bounds now. Okay, that's a thing. The clock's ticking. This is only a 10-minute speed run, so I gotta finish the audit in that time. Listen, walls are just a suggestion, okay? I want to know how they're going to beat the last boss with, like, no stats. Because, yeah, they're at the last dungeon right now. What's the big flaw of Odyssey? Other than, like, 4 individual moons, which suck. Sure, give me 1 second here, off the deep end. Oh yeah, they click victory. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Heirlooms are only there now if you want to ignore loot while you level. That's their point and purpose. You'll notice they've been basically abandoned, too. Like, there hasn't been any developments or additional things or anything, really, in years. Why would you need party members? God. I mean, honestly, heirlooms have kind of been supplanted by most of the modern leveling systems that exist. I'm pretty sure you could guess this, Blade Duvall. No, I remember. I actually bothered to get the stupid rings back in Warlords. This is Pixel Remaster, specifically. I always wanted to sit down and truly max everything out, and I never got around to it because it never felt worth it to me, and it cost an absolutely insane amount of gold and or resources. So I never did. It's an interesting quandary, though. What do you do with heirlooms now? Like, if you just had to do something with heirlooms, what would you do with them now? That's true. Warlords was the cash expansion. I didn't learn about that until, like, a month before they nerfed it. So, I did get a bit of an influx, but nowhere near as much as everybody else did. So here's the second to last boss. That's a good question, Blade Duvall. Not sure. Let's go fight the final boss. I'm not even done with the boring audio yet. I'm almost done. No. Well, maybe? That should be doing way more than 3 damage a hit, even if you're getting great. Like, what the crap? Oh, let me guess. He's just gonna die. And then get a clutch, yeah. Yeah. That's actually what I expected. This song is called Pandemonium, Spartan. I like how the whole party's there, but obviously you don't have a party, so... Yeah, Colgrim. I sure hope so, because we've already beaten it. Yeah, time, by the way. 9:16. Yeah, 9 minutes, 16 seconds. Well, I'm out of stuff to show you. Sorry. So enjoy this extremely epic Starfield. Unlike the actual Starfield. See that, Spartan. Or maybe make it so you get, like, more stuff when you're out harvesting. Several, actually, Colgrim. Although, please don't ask me for examples right now, because I can't think of any right now. But yes, that has happened. Three hours, 49 minutes. Damn. I mean, I feel like this is a bit of a gimme, but just to ask, how do we feel about replayability for this one? A replay positive for music. That's one I've never heard of. Actually, they don't, Braylon, if you remember. We tested that. Yeah, that's why I was a little confused. Like, what? 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 Ikenfell. Plus 15 to story. That's actually dead on average for JRPGs. You'll figure. That's what? I'll get back to that. It's about a plus per hour, which is nice. 72% ratio, which is actually above average. Gameplay is plus 20. That's actually pretty solid for a JRPG. Most JRPGs don't really have gameplay pluses at all. That is 1.2 pluses per hour and a ratio of 70%, which once again is above average. All of that gives us a final golden number of... Drumroll, please. Here's the guessing game. $70. .36. Pretty damn solid, actually, for what it's worth. Congrats, Kenix Cow, on winning. I put that towards the Jack block, Ikenfell in order, and Yakuza 0. I do want to give my last thoughts super quick here. This is kind of establishing precedents for games that have issues, but also give you the tools to bypass those issues, kind of a thing, which will come up later. But also, the game's just too damn long. I'm sorry, I hate to keep hammering that point in. I stand by what I said earlier, but to repeat it for those of you who are only joining, because I know a lot of the VOD watchers only show up at the ending here. If this game was about 50% as long, it would have worked a lot better. Maybe even shorter than that. There's just not that much meat on its bones. It's essentially a short story, which is fine. It's worth noting. There's nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't have as much depth or complexity necessary to really have a long-term arc. In fact, if you're paying attention, there's actually 3 main plots. What we think's happening for exactly 2 dungeons, and then what's actually happening. And we just kind of bounce between those as we go through it. But all of this is, like, a short story. I don't have a better way to put it. So there's not that much there, and then you add into the fact that the combat can absolutely drag really, really badly. To the point where, honestly, the length of the game is probably closer to double what I actually did if I had been sitting down and doing every encounter without hitting the I win button after a certain point in time. Never mind if I wasn't leveling. And Lord knows several of those bosses took forever too, even when I was playing them legit. So yeah, no, I think that a editing pass and a polishing pass would smooth this over substantially. That density looks like it's good density, but honestly, that's pretty bad for what should have been here. And, well, to go back to what I mentioned earlier, this game was only 16 hours, which is relatively short. But it felt closer to 30 to me. Because there were huge swaths of the game where it was just repeating itself, or wasting time, or, as Blade 12 points out, every single action just takes too long. You know, the Final Fantasy Tactics problem, right? It just takes a while. Even if you're doing everything right and everything's popping, it still is a long sequence of events. That's one of the reasons why animations were such an issue for that. Still a very good game for a first game, although it's not actually a first game. This person has been working at Bandai Namco for quite some time before making this game. First solo game? I don't know. Regardless, enjoyable for what it is. Recommended with asterisks. I don't know if there'll be a second stream today, but if there is, we'll be playing whatever's next. Because I don't remember right now off the top of my head. I think it's Railway Empire. So, I'll see you guys.